Alright, it's Ernest with Easy Does It. We're here again for another video. This time we're going to do switching. A lot of times we have a lot of questions about switching and what exactly is going on in those switch boxes and those light boxes. In this video we're going to figure it all out. I'm going to do an installation and then I'll show you on the board exactly what's going on behind the wires, behind the scenes. Alright, so let's get into the video. Alright, so we're at the drawing board, and as you can see I have labeled hot, our second hot, a neutral, a ground, and the device color is blue. Alright, so just try to keep that in mind as we draw some devices and some outlets and so forth. First we'll draw a switch here. And this is typical for the first, for a single switching. You'll have two nubs on the side here, and then you have your switch there, your rocker. And one way of doing it is, let's see, first we'll also put our light up here. Looks like the sun. Okay, so it's not the sun, it's a light. So, our incoming power, we have a black hot, and then it comes over and it hits the first side. Then we have our neutral. Now there's no purple neutrals, but this is what's going on the side. We have the incoming wire, the neutral, and it'll come to the junction box here. Say we have a junction box. This is our junction box here. Okay, we have a junction box, and the neutral does not hit the switch. The white wire does not hit the switch. Instead, it goes up to the light. Then you take the other hot and then it goes up to the light. We cannot forget our grounding. Yes, grounding. The grounding is very simple. It comes in, it ties to the device, and it goes out and it ties to the light. And this is typical for a single switching. You have your neutral, your hot, and your hot going out. Now this is one cable right here, and this is another cable right here. Okay, and each cable has a neutral, a hot, and a ground in it. Now, another way that you might see this, and you can just look at that for a minute. Another way you might see this is you might see in your switch box that you have a switch here and you have your light over here. Somehow they all got bigger. Figured I'd draw it a little bit bigger this time. And you'll see only two wires in your switch box. This is your switch box. You only see two wires in your switch box, and you go, where the other wires at? Alright, so this is what's happening. What's happening is the incoming light is coming to the hot is coming to the light, and so is the neutral. And instead of the junction happening down here, what's going on down here is you'll see a hot, and then you'll have a neutral that's coming up, but it's not a neutral, it's a return. So the return is going straight to the light. So instead of neutral coming down here, you have a wire that's either black and white or black and black, but in this case, most cables you will see a black and white in them, and it's going, the white is going directly to the light, and the black is going to the hot source here that's in the ceiling somewhere, and then the neutral is going straight to the light. Okay, but remember, this is a hot going this way, and this is essentially a hot going this way, and then you have your switch rocker. So with it off, it stops at the switch, and then with it on, it goes back to the light. This is not actually touching the light at all. So if you only see two wires in your switch box, this is what's going on. The junction is inside the light box instead of inside the switch box. But it's the same method. You're gonna break the hot right here. Now in older style houses, these two will not be hot. These two will be neutrals. So you'll have the neutral return. I'll call it the neutral, like that. New. Okay, so you have a neutral return, and in that case, this one will be your hot wire, and it's usually because it's knob and tube wiring, and so the hot will be going straight to the light, and then the neutral will be broken at every light switch throughout the house, and they switch to neutrals. But that's not typical. This is for knob and tube. This is for older houses and houses that are typically before the 50s. All right. And in that case, you will not have any grounds in the box. No grounding. No. All right. So that's single switching, and let's get back to the video. All right, here we go. Back in the lab. So what I've got here is a standard setup. This is what it looks like behind the drywall. You'll have a switch box, and then you'll have a wiring, typically the intro or the outro. This is the power source here, and then this is going down to a receptacle on the other side of the wall. Here is what we need to pay attention to. This is your wiring going to your light. If you can see up here, the light has already been wired up. There is our hot wire on the gold terminals and our neutral wire on the lightly colored metal terminals. All right. So first, before we do anything, we want to test before we touch. Okay. Before we start working on anything, we want to verify that it's dead. This is a standard static tester. I'll take that, turn it on. Make sure everything is dead. Don't just test the black wires. Sometimes the white wires are hot as well. All right, we're good to go. So next, what we'll do is we'll take a standard switch. And as I mentioned already, we already have our hot wire coming in, this yellow wire here, and then we have our hot wire going out, which is the other yellow wire. Okay, so we have our typical setup here. Again, you have the line incoming, and then you have the line outgoing to an outlet down here. So what I've already done is tie those together because those don't need to be broken by this switch. So I have my neutral here, my hot here, and then I've created this, what we call a pigtail, so that I can not break this line and add it to our switch here. So before we get to that though, let us tie up our grounding. So I've already stripped it back standardly. We'll go ahead and tie our grounding in. Which way I usually do that? It's this way. I'm standing on the opposite side. So just do our ground like that. We'll take a pair of pliers and we'll tighten it up a little bit. Okay. Then we'll take it and on the end, we'll make a little loop there. That way we can easily put it on our terminal, our grounding terminal there. Then we'll take the other two and we'll strip it out. I always want to strip it out about a fingernail length long. So you can see there, about a fingernail length. Our neutral will not get broken. It does not get switched. So I'll take it and simply put it with the other neutral wires. Then cap it off. At this point, we don't need the neutral anymore, so we can just fold it in the back of the box. Now what we're left with is our load wire, which is going to our light, and our line wire, which is coming from our power, and our ground. So first we want to go ahead and put our grounding on. And we'll tighten that on up. Then we will, now most outlets and receptacles nowadays, they come with these holes in the back where you can push the wire in. I recommend not doing that because sooner or later that will get loose, get hot, and it can potentially start a fire, or it will make other things not work in the house. And this is just the tested and proven way of doing things. So put it on the terminal. I usually use the top side terminal. You can use the bottom side terminal if you want. But typically inside of a switch, the rocker goes to the top. So it's better to have the power sitting at the bottom and then the rocker hit the top. Some switches are built differently, so you may not know. And then we'll take our line side, which is our power coming in and going out, and simply put it on the other screw. And that's pretty much it. We'll fold these wires back in nicely. And that is it. All right, I've turned the power on. We want to verify the power is working. That means it's working. And our light is on. There you have it, single switching. All right, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell so you can get the notifications. And then if you want to see pictures and things that we're doing in real time, go look on the Instagram. It's gonna be down below or above somewhere. And I'll see you in the next video.